Commander Elena Vasquez stood before the holographic display, her weathered face illuminated by the crimson glow of burning worlds. 3 months had passed since the Zephyrian Collective had made their fatal mistake, attempting to purge every trace of Earth's existence from the galactic archives. They had underestimated humanity. "Status report," Elena commanded, her voice carrying the weight of 1,000 lost worlds. Lieutenant Chen stepped forward, his tactical interface crackling with incoming data. "Ma'am, the 7th Fleet has successfully liberated the Kepler colonies. Admiral Morrison reports minimal casualties. The enemy retreated before our main assault." Elena nodded grimly. The Zephyrians were learning fear, but it was too late. They had crossed a line that could never be uncrossed. The war had begun not with plasma cannons or stellar bombardments, but with something far more insidious. The Collective, in their arrogance, had decided that humanity's rapid expansion threatened their carefully maintained galactic order. Unable to defeat humans in direct combat, they had chosen psychological warfare, systematically erasing every record of Earth's history, culture, and achievements from every database, monument, and memory bank across known space. They had burned the libraries of New Geneva, deleted the cultural archives of Nova Terra, destroyed the historical monuments of Olympus Station. In a single coordinated strike, they had attempted to rob humanity of its identity, turning them into ghosts haunting the stars. But they had forgotten one crucial fact about humans. They remembered everything. "Sir, incoming transmission from the Remembrance," Chen announced. Captain Sarah Kim's face materialized in the holographic field, her expression as hard as the quantum steel hull of her dreadnought. "Elna, we've secured the Zephyrian archive world of Kethmore. You need to see this." The display shifted, showing vast crystalline structures that stretched beyond the horizon. These were the Collective's memory banks, repositories containing the histories of 1,000 civilizations. All except one. They kept records of every species they'd ever encountered. Sarah continued, her voice thick with controlled rage. Every culture, every achievement, every moment of beauty or triumph. But when it came to humanity, nothing, not even a footnote. They tried to make us invisible to history itself. Elena felt the familiar fire burning in her chest, the same fire that had driven humanity to the stars, that had seen them survive ice ages and pandemics, wars and disasters, the fire that refused to be extinguished. "How many worlds have we liberated now?" she asked. 47, Chen replied. "And with each victory, we're not just taking territory. We're rebuilding what they destroyed. Every library, every museum, every monument, but better than before." Elena smiled, remembering the reports flowing in from across human space. On Meridian Prime, refugees were carving the entirety of Shakespeare into mountainsides. On Frost Harbor, children were painting the walls of their shelters with scenes from Earth's ancient past. On every world touched by human hands, the story of Terra was being retold, remembered, and revered. The Zephyrians had tried to erase humanity's past. Instead, they had given them a purpose that burned brighter than any star. "Ma'am, we're receiving surrender requests from 17 collective worlds," another officer reported. "They're offering complete capitulation in exchange for—" "No terms," Elena cut him off. "Not until they understand what they've done." She activated the fleet-wide communication system. On screens across hundreds of ships, thousands of faces turned toward her. Humans who had lost their homeworld, their history, their very identity to collective arrogance. But in their eyes, she saw something the enemy would never understand. Unbreakable will. "Brothers and sisters," she began, her voice carrying across the void to every human soul within a dozen light years. "They thought they could make us forget. They thought they could steal our past and leave us hollow. But they made one critical error. They never understood what makes us human." She paused, looking out at the stars that had once seemed so vast and empty, now burning with the light of human determination. "We don't just remember our triumphs. We remember our failures, our struggles. Every time we've been knocked down and gotten back up. Every time we've faced extinction and survived. That's not just history. That's who we are." The fleet began to move, a armada of vengeance cutting through space like a blade of pure human will. Behind them, liberated worlds were already beginning to rebuild. Ahead of them, the Collective's core worlds awaited, their leaders finally beginning to comprehend the magnitude of their mistake. "They wanted to erase us. Elena whispered to herself, watching the stars wheel by. Instead, they've given us something precious, a reminder of why we fight. Not just for territory or resources, but for the right to exist, to remember, to be human. The Retribution shuddered as its jump drive spun up, preparing to carry the fleet deeper into enemy territory. In the distance, the Zephyrian homeworld awaited, a blue-green marble that would soon learn what happened when you tried to steal humanity's soul. They had tried to erase Earth's history. Now the stars themselves would burn with human vengeance, and the galaxy would remember why Homo sapiens had never learned the meaning of surrender. The war was far from over, but humanity had already won the only battle that truly mattered, the battle for their own identity, and they would make sure the universe never forgot it.